Hey everybody, Donnie here, and I kind of want to talk about how how I feel about AI being used within the realm of books, but also how it's being used in the craft industry. If you guys don't know, I run a small crafting business where I sell stuff that I made myself, and there has been a lot of like uh, positive and negative feedback. A lot of, I would say, mixed feedback about using AI as a tool to help people necessarily write books or write patterns for the craft industry. And it's okay to kind of use it kind of like as an aid to help people out, but how much of it is generally considered too much, right? Too much. So I actually looked up this article that is written about the impact of AI in the publishing industry. This was put back in March 16th of this year. And it was posted up on a university called Capital Technology University, where you guys could see where it does say that it does provide valuable insights into reader preferences, and it does allow authors to make their like turn their work to meet the evolve like the market that always changes, the market trends that always changes in how commercial viability can take part of it. However, there's also the major downsides of AI in publishing, where one concern is like the homogenization of creative input. Now, when they say homogenization, they actually talk about within the realm of sociology and culture, where it kind of reduces the cultural diversity within certain within the realm of books. You know, like so we're seeing this the homogenization of creative output. That means the reduction of um kind of like how the diversity is for creative output when writing books. And it also says that algorithms trained in existing works often prioritize popular trends and styles, which can discourage originality and innovation, as is already being seen with an influx of fake books being self-published on Amazon. So when they're talking about this, they're pretty much saying that using AI to kind of like it kind of helps with beating the trend, like being more trendy than books that are actually written by actual authors. That it kind of causes like people to be able to get um easier access for more money. So if you reduce the creative outwork for writing books via artistic value, then you're gonna be like, oh, you know, like this is something that I've already read, I've already written. I've seen people write similar themes to like see the Twilight Saga was kind of a rip-off to My Chemical Romance, but then we have 50 Shades of Grey, which was kind of a ripoff of Twilight and, you know, all this other stuff. And you could see that by people trying to fit into the trends, um, when people fit into the trends and reducing the creative output of what could be possible within the realm of books and, you know, understanding what people are trying to write within each book, it kind of just feels like it's lacking the innovation and originality within books. And in some cases, we can actually see the influx of fake books being put out within Amazon. And when we're talking about fake books, right? When we're talking about fake books, we're talking about books that are completely written by AI. It hasn't really been like looked into, and like how I would say how properly structured it is. And then it comes to a point where it's like now we have all this bunch of like um indie authors that pretty much allows AI to write the books for them, and like they don't properly see whether or not it's properly written correctly, if it's if any of the sentences are grammatically correct, if there's no um way to properly kind of say like, hey, this doesn't sound right, this doesn't like structurally and grammatically probably it's just slop. It's just slop. And it's kind of crazy that people kind of use AI for something like that, and it's just a lot. And we can actually see here what they ran here, which it says for writers, AI generated content poses a direct threat to job security and artistic value. As AI tools become increasingly sophisticated or more elaborate, or if you guys know what sophisticated is, it's like kind of like a word. It's so similar to like more like more creative, more like a, kind of like smarter in a way. As AI tools become increasingly sophisticated, publishers may be tempted to rely on AI produced works that are faster, excuse me, faster and cheaper to generate than human authored pieces. That's kind of interesting. And I'm sorry for that weird burp. Sometimes that happens with my get health. Anyway, I've noticed that quite a lot, and it's kind of scary to know that people are people in the publishing field are more inclined to favor AI content related books, books that are written by AI rather than actually reading the book that authors write in order to kind of see like, hey, this actually might be a good book. Let's see how things go. Like let's feel this one out. No, instead there people are in the some people in the publishing field, I'm not gonna say everyone, much rather they much rather focus on um focus on trying to get books that are written in through AI to kind of make more money, be more profitable because like the profit margins um because it's just easier that way. And not a lot of people can understand that by doing that you're effectively erasing kind of like a sort of kind of like erasing a sort of culture that has been here for many centuries. Like we've seen Romeo and Juliet, we've seen Midnight Summer Dream, we've seen um the Iliad, Homer, there's so many classics that have been written. Like the Green Knight, we've seen so many classics being put out. We wrote about um the Gallic Wars. I think that's what it's called. Um we've seen so many books, and like how will we not know about like when we and we can also see about books that were written in the 19th century from, for example, Edgar Allan Poe wrote a lot of poetry as well as a few I think books as well, but he's written a lot of gothic and um kind of gives off a little bit of a dark romanticization. I'm sorry. Sometimes certain words aren't pronounced right for me. Romanticization. Am I saying it right? I don't think I am. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Um, like there's so many genres because up until AI took over, not even 5 years ago, we are seeing a whole, like all these creative books that have just been very good and all these things. And even though there were problems prior to AI being put out, where people pretended to like had a pen name to write books under, and the books weren't as like the books from their regular works weren't as good as books under their pen name, and it's just, if you guys ever see books written on, and like you can see something is wrong, there might be a chance that it might be entirely made up of AI. I've also have seen people write patterns for crocheting that are under AI, and I for the life of me I just hate that. Like whenever I see someone use an AI picture of a crochet project and they're like, "Oh, I didn't have the finished product, but this is how it looks like." Why did you why did you make the pattern and not have the a picture of the actual finished product? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Um for me, I much rather have people be creative with the books, and use just a small like just use AI as a way for to be creative about the books that you're writing, than having AI write the book for you. Like, I would even suggest, like, if you're having trouble, I would say like AI is like kind of like last ditch ever. Like, if you're on a writer's block, I would like it if you guys use it to kind of help out with writer's block. But that's just me. I don't see the point of using AI completely to kind of write a complete book, because you guys decided, hey, let me go for the cheaper route. Let me go through the cheaper route by using AI to have it write the book for me. And it's just crazy. So there's kind of like one good example that I can mention how people can actually view writing books as bad. So Susanna Friesen um covers book talk. I've seen all the videos I've seen from her are she covers book related stuff. And so this recent video that she posted up a few days ago, apparently the lady in the left had from this picture had an idea to write a book, and the guy on the right of the thumbnail actually used her idea, put generated it into AI, and then sent it to her via email. And it was kind of crazy, because it was like, why would you do something like that? And it took many times to try to talk about it for him to finally listen. And guess how he was listening? Her husband got it onto the phone, got onto the TikTok, made a post calling him out, and that was when the guy finally listened and saying that he was going to back down. How is it that every woman that has told this guy that they were wrong, right? They were that this guy was wrong for you taking her idea, putting it in under AI to like generate it, and then send the finished AI generated version of the book to her, and then think it's okay, and then used Dolores Umbridge as a sort of example, like for like the what Dolores Umbridge from the Harry Potter series talked about when it came down to progress. That was like a kind of like a piss poor example of what not to say to try to defend yourself. You know, like I think I think that some people should not just simply not insert themselves in certain situations, and more specifically when it comes down to books as well. Um, and then kind of expect people to kind of be like, "Hey, like you can't expect people to kind of be like, "Hey, I'll side with you because you're right, you're right." No, that you can't take someone else's idea, put it in an AI thing to generate a prompt or a book, and then send it to somebody, thinking that it is alright, that it is okay, it's perfectly fine. It's part of progress. No, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And even then, AI is kind of basically looked down upon. It's looked down upon quite a lot. And the fact that the people that think it's okay to kind of take what other people wanted to write, we're considering about and putting in an AI thing to generate a book, get that finished AI generated book, send it to them via email, and be like, "Hey, look what I did for you." That's basically uh, taking their prompt idea, and then instead of putting some creativity behind it, you just created some slop. That's crazy work. And I can understand, like, honestly, when it comes to like the realm of books and like various crafts, people don't like using AI. Like, even I don't like using AI when it comes to crocheting, when it comes to reading books and things like that. I don't like using AI at fucking all. It's just something that just doesn't sit right with me. And for people to be using that so willy-nilly and then being like, "Oh no, it's perfectly fine. It's all part of progress. You know, we're learning from it." And in reality, you might not be learning from it. So yeah. Anyway, I think I said what I said about this topic. Yeah. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you like, subscribe, and comment. And if you got this far, of course. And I hope you guys want to can take a look at any of my like my links down below. I will be putting in the links for the article that I was looking back on, as well as the channel that I was kind of using as an example of a single story. Hopefully you guys can take a look in the description down below. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.